Today I'm back with another oily skin diaries video. Basically, I test out a foundation on my extremely oily skin. I'm just wearing a moisturizer. I'm not going to wear any highlight or anything like that. We're going to do a flash photography test. I will show you how it wears throughout the day. And today we're going to be testing out something brand new. It's actually coming to stores in July. If you follow me on Snapchat, you would have seen that I got this bag in the mail from Makeup Forever a couple of days ago. So I've been testing out this foundation. This is not a first impression, but basically they have reformulated their face and body foundation. So now it is going to be called the Makeup Forever Water Blend Face and Body Foundation. So they sent me 3 different shades to try out. I've been using 2 of them. If you're familiar with their face and body foundation, it's been around for a very long time. I know that this is launching in July. There's going to be 20 different shades, which, yes. Thank you, Makeup Forever. They know how to make a shade range. It's going to retail, I'm assuming, for around the same amount than what the current foundation is, so about 43 Canadian, or sorry, 43 American and then 50 Canadian. You do get over a full fluid ounce in here, so that's something to keep in mind because $50 seems expensive, but you get 1.69 fluid ounces in here, and then the average foundation is 1 fluid ounce, so you're almost getting 2 foundations in here. Comes in a great glass bottle, and you get a pump on it, which is always appreciated, but let's go ahead and get into the application. As I mentioned, they sent me 3 different shades, R370, Y405, and Y415. The R have pink undertones, and then the Y have a more warm yellow undertone. I'm going to be using the shade 415. It suggests to use a sponge with this, but I'm not going to use a sponge because it already says it's hydrating and I don't really want to add any more moisture. So I'm going to be using a buffing brush on half of my face and then a stippling brush on the other. You can see that it's got a fairly liquidy consistency, but it's not completely running down my hand. We combined the comfort of a sheer foundation with the performance that pro makeup artists demand in the new Water Blend foundation. Its buildable, lightweight formula delivers a flawless and dewy finish with beautiful, even complexion. Available in 20 shades, Water Blend Foundation is the reformulation of pro makeup artists' favorite face and body foundation, delivering the same results with an upgraded formula. This is what it looks like. I use the buffing brush on this side and then the stippling brush on this side. I definitely like the buffing brush better. I get a little bit more coverage out of it. So this is 1 layer. I used about a pump on each side, but I'm going to try and build it up just a little bit more. It says it is hydrating. It has 80% of the formula is purified water infused with vitamin B5 to provide hydration and improve skin elasticity. It is coated with microfine pigments that improve payoff and skin affinity with guaranteed waterproof and transfer-proof coverage. The unique water gel texture feels smooth and light even when it dries to a resistant finish for flawless all-day wear. So this is what it looks like now that I've built it up just a little bit. It definitely is a pretty medium coverage foundation. I can still see my freckles. I can see a little bit of, you can't really see it. Maybe if I bring it closer. There's definitely some shine on my face. They talk a lot about hydration and dewiness, which will be interesting to see how this plays out throughout the day. But I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, take some photos, and then I will show you what it looks like. So I have the rest of my makeup on now. I had absolutely no problem applying anything. Everything went on really nicely. I do have powder on just because I'm oily, and this is by no means a mattifying foundation, so I had to wear a little powder. I'm not wearing any highlight. I feel like if you have really big pores, you may need to get the help of a pore filler. But overall, I think that in natural light, this looks amazing in photography and in flash. I don't know that I've ever had a better flash test. Not only does this not flash back, but it just looks so good. I love that I can see the freckles on my nose. I think that that just looks so cute because I love my freckles, but they always get kind of covered up when I'm trying to cover up acne scarring or dark circles. If you have oily skin, you're definitely, for the most part, with most foundations, gonna have to get help from your friend's blotting powder, primer, and setting spray. But I will check back with you when I get home from work because I have got to go to work. It is right now 7:33, so I will check back in a few hours. Hey guys, I am back. It is just after 5 o'clock. I thought I should give Rue a little screen time because since I moved over to this new setup, she has been barely in my videos, and I know that some of you are only here for Rue's, but she still exists. She just we haven't figured out a place for her to go yet while I'm doing my videos. Anyways, if you can tell, I am quite oily. I have not blotted today. I have not powdered, clearly. I definitely am looking oily. The oil started to come through around 11 o'clock. I also noticed that you could start to see the texture on my skin a little bit more. So if you have really textured skin, I would recommend getting a sample of this first to see how it reacts with your skin. Overall, I do still like the way it looks on my skin, with the exception of the shine. My blush is still in place. Nothing has really moved around or faded, so I'm really happy with that, but I definitely do look really oily. So kind of to be expected with this foundation. It does say it has a dewy finish, it says it's moisturizing, and these are all the things that I generally am a little bit scared of when picking out foundations. That being said, it looks so good in photo and in video. I will definitely still continue to use this. If I want to wear it throughout the day, I'll just use a mattifying primer. I will use a setting spray and of course blot throughout the day, which is something I do for the most part with any foundation. What I wanted to do though is something that I normally don't do in my oily skin diaries, is just show you what it looks like after I've blotted and powdered my face so that you can get an idea of how it kind of reacts. So, oh, I also wanted to mention, it says that it's transfer proof. I didn't find it completely transfer proof. Like, I was drinking a Starbucks earlier today, and I don't know if this happens to other people who wear makeup, but when my nose touched the cup, I could see a little bit of foundation there. But that being said, that could be my powder, technically, not the foundation. And because I am oily, I do feel like that kind of gets rid of the transfer proofness. So definitely looks a lot better now that I've blotted, but you can see it's here on my tissue. But what I wanted to show you next is this foundation says it's waterproof, and I don't really know how to show you that it's waterproof. I just put some on my hand and tried to wash it, and I was like, that doesn't really kind of demonstrate whether or not it's waterproof. So I thought, I've got a cup of water here in front of me. I thought what I could do is just kind of like put a little droplet on my face as if I was to like cry and see what happens. So it doesn't look like it's taking away any of the foundation. Let's try a little bit more. I just got home from work. I've got nowhere to be. Nothing's really moving around. I know that like before, if I have cried with foundation on, you can see like those lines in your cheeks, and I'm not getting those. And then for fun, for my grand finale, why don't I just pour this over my face? Not the whole glass, it seems like a lot of water, but let's just pour it over my face and see what happens. I should probably have a towel underneath me. Oh, God, it's all over the floor. That's probably a stupid idea. So I think this looks really good. You can see my mascara is running a little bit because that's not waterproof, but otherwise, my face is wet, but it's not like running off my face. Let me try blotting. It's not even really taking off that much foundation when I blot. That's super cool. So my makeup looks like totally normal and not like I didn't pour like, well, I guess I didn't pour that much water over my face, but I definitely poured water over my face. So yeah, okay, that was a little bit of an interesting oily skin diaries. I would recommend this to someone that has normal skin, dry skin. If you have oily skin, just make sure you take your oily skin precautions and do what you can to not make it. So really throughout the day. I really, really like it. I think that has great application. There's a ton of product in here, like near double what you get in your average foundation. And if you do any kind of photography or filming or anything like that, I highly, highly recommend this. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!